The Wood Shop is sponsored by ChefwareKits, with hundreds of items for wood turners. All right, welcome back. I'm going to build a collapsible sawhorse today. I saw a video about a month ago, and a guy was making these sawhorses, and he's using the same concept as the collapsible lawn chairs or like the canopies, the ones you use for craft shows and stuff, and the same kind of scissor method. And that's what I started out with, and there's just too many small pieces with the canopy style, so I scrapped that and I came up with something different. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, I'm trying to figure out my pattern here, so I'm just going to give you a quick breakdown. There was a lot of trial and error with this one, and I ended up shooting a lot of footage and ended up having to recut everything. So I'm just going to give you a breakdown of the measurements instead of trying to piece it into the video. The top platform is 10.5 by 9, and the only critical thing on this, you can use a square piece, but you can't run off a 45 because the legs will stick out too far if you're using a 4x8 sheet of plywood. So I ended up going to 24 degrees, and it actually put a piece of plywood up there, and it gave me a little bit of room on each side, and so I wouldn't cut into the legs. So that's the only really critical thing I think on the whole project. The braces ended up being 35.5, the outer legs 32.5, and the inner legs at 34. And all of that can be adjusted on, if you want it higher or lower, and with the dowel in the center too. It completely depends on the height you want. All right, so here we go. Here's my pattern, and I'm going to cut out the little X's there. And look at that, Steve. It's woodworking for mere mortals. And these marks here are my boards. My legs are going to line up right there, and this is going to be my support piece. It's going to go right in there. So, and I just came out from the center. I don't even know what it is, but it is 3 inches. Yeah, 3 inches from the center, and I just came out until the legs over here and the legs here don't hit. So I did that. So I'm just going to cut these out on the bandsaw, and I'm going to leave them tight and then hand sand them so it's a good snug fit. And then I'm going to glue another piece to the top of this. This is the only reason I'm cutting these out, is because I want them sturdy. All right. Okay, it's all put together. Now I'm just going to trim this down. I don't need all this material out here, so I'm going to trim it down to this point here. All right, I'm just going to take and drill a hole with my Forstner bit through this first sheet of plywood for a dowel in the center. I'm not sure if I need it or not, but I'm just going to do it, and then if I don't need the support, I won't put it in. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is cut my support blocks here, and I'm going to cut these at 2.5 inches, and I need 4 of them. Just going to drill a small hole through here, and then I'm going to glue and screw these in. going to countersink. Cut the leg. Alright, so I just made one leg and then used it as a template to finish the rest of them. I'm just going to assemble it here. I'll put a washer in between them. And one on the outside too. Okay, I'm just going to finish up the rest of them and then we'll mount it to the top. Alright, I'm just installing the last leg and then I can measure and cut for the braces. And the reason the screws are long is because the braces are actually going to go out here on this side of it. So, all right. Mount this one up. Okay, so I have it all set up, and I leveled the leg here up. I leveled the platform up, and so I can measure my brace from there to there, and I'll make the other three the same. Alright, I just made a base for the bottom and I drilled a hole for the dowel too. And then I'm going to go ahead and level that up on center there. And then that way it has a top and bottom, and if you wanted to, I don't know, maybe enclose it a little better, it'd be pretty easy to do. So I'm just going to take and glue and screw that in. Alright, there we go. The length overall is 6 feet. So you have a little bit overhang on each side to cut stuff, and then this way it was 32. So you have a little bit of room there. And the overall height is 29. And I wasn't shooting for anything in particular. It was just regular sawhorses, I think, are 28 inches tall. And two, if you want to raise it up to maybe make like a chop saw station, simply, bring these back and put in another pin there. I just stuck those bolts in there. I'm not leaving them in there. I just didn't have any quick release pins to put in it. But you will notice too that I just rounded all the corners over on that. I was way overthinking it. I spent way too much time trying to figure out the angle when you really don't need it. You know, it's just like spending $18 million on a pin that writes upside down when you have a pencil. All right. Okay, and to break it down, you can pull the pins. Actually, they're just bolts. I haven't got any quick release for it yet. We'll get some of those. Alright. Doubles a high stool. I think I'm going to take the base there and make it round so that these square up in there better. But other than that, there we go. All right, there we go. With a lot of trial and error, I finally got it to work. The thing I like about it is you can raise the outer legs and raise the height about 6 inches simply by making a new spot on the supports for it. But if you have any suggestions on any ways to make it better, I would love to hear them, and we can go over them with everybody on Monday. But as always, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.